Minasan, konnichiwa. Nico here from the Road to Japan podcast and working title on YouTube. So, this is a quick vid in lieu of doing a proper episode. I know it looks like I'm about to leave, but actually I just got back from running a number of errands today. So, I thought about doing an episode tonight, but to be honest, I don't have a terrible amount to talk about, and I have a speech I need to prepare for my class. So we're doing our first prepared speech, which means that it's going to be a little lengthier. We have to put sources in it and outline and all this other stuff. So it's going to take some time. I need to also run through my speech as well, which is actually going to be utilizing this very camera that I'm talking to right now. So anyway, I figure I need to get cracking on that instead of doing a show. I thought about just postponing it till next weekend, but it turned out that I forgot that I am going to be going to Madison next weekend for an overnight trip. So that's, next weekend's not going to be doable either. So I'm basically kind of settling to do a quick vid instead. And truth be told, like I said, there's not really a ton to talk about right now. Aside from the fact that there are some changes as far as my future plans. I mean, there's, things are kind of, as usual, just kind of trucking along in my classes. There are some, mix-ups that have happened. Not mix-ups like, things getting screwy or whatever, but just some curveballs that have come along the way in my classes. Nothing crazy, but, I'm still able to kind of manage what's going on. So, everything's still doable. I'm still doing okay as far as grades are concerned. Hopefully I can just keep that momentum as per usual. But as far as what I'm looking to do with the bachelor's degree, it turns out that in speaking with the admissions office at UWM, where I plan to attend for my bachelor's, it seems that the difference basically between when I start, in this semester and this other semester would determine if I need to bother having to resubmit an application and whatnot. So they told me that all I would have to do is sign up for one summer class, and then all I would have to do is submit a term deferment form, something like that. Basically saying that because I was originally planning on attending last fall and that did not happen, I still went through the admission process and I am admitted to the university. So all I'd have to do at this point is just, like I said, fill out this deferment form saying that instead of fall 2015, that I instead would be summer 2016, which actually I think all falls within the 2016 school year, quote unquote. So that's why I can just fill out this form instead of having to readmit. Because if I wanted to stick with my original plan to start, to begin in fall, this fall that is, I'd have to completely go through the readmission process. So this will save me a little bit of time. It doesn't really necessarily screw things up for me because the plan was going to be taking classes over the summer anyway. It's just the only thing that's changing is just what I'll be taking and with what institution. So I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but I definitely for sure am going to be attending the commencement ceremony for spring from MATC. So that's actually happening on May 13th, which is just a little over 2 months from now. And it doesn't even matter necessarily when I complete my credits for MATC, because they told me that this is strictly just for participating in the ceremony itself. The graduation date on my diploma or degree, the physical form that I received saying that I graduated, the date will just be whenever I complete those credits. So commencement's happening May 13th, no matter what. I've already registered, I'm signed up, so that's going to be a thing. The only thing I'm working on right now is getting those remaining credits taken care of, and my goal is to have those addressed and completed by the end of this semester. So I'm hoping that I can take care of that right around the time that I walk across the stage, because it'd be mostly just to finally say I'm done, with the associate's degree, so that there's no more mix-ups, no more confusion. Because I'll be honest, I'm getting kind of tired of having to go into the counselor's office every semester and say, okay, what craziness do I have to deal with this semester in order to keep going with my degree just to earn the degree. I'm hoping at this point everything's been moved around wherever it needs to go, so that, as far as what the counselor told me, I only need to complete 6 more credits. So the remaining 6, there's 3 that are in the science field and 3 that are in the humanities field. So as I've been kind of talking about this semester, the plan was to consider implementing CLEP testing, to CLEP test out of these subjects and earn the credit without having to go through a full class. That's still the plan, and so I have purchased study guides for these particular tests. So the subjects I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the biology exam. So it'd be the equivalent of like Biology 101, which I think, depending on where you look, it's actually worth like 5 or 6 credits, which is great because, if I earn those credits, then hopefully the same amount of credits can apply towards my bachelor's degree, which could knock out. If I get 6 credits out of it, that knocks out a class that I don't have to take. Providing that's how it works. I've learned this semester that getting my hopes up is probably something I shouldn't be doing, just because reality likes to just kind of hit me in the balls and, remind me that, sorry about the sniffling, I've been sick for the last week, but reality has a way of just kind of reminding me like, things aren't going to be as easy as you thought, mister. So yes, the plan is to take the biology exam. The other one's going to be a course in the history category having to do with Western civilizations. I forget the exact name of it, but it's something along those lines. I think it still has to do kind of with like U.S. history. I could be wrong on that. To be honest, I haven't flipped through that study guide yet. It turns out the study guides are actually just a series of what I assume to be sample questions, which wasn't what I was expecting them to be. Granted, they only cost $10 each for both of these study guides, and a lot of it, like half the guide itself, is actually just talking about the CLEP test itself, as far as like what to expect, what kind of questions you'll face, what types of questions you'll face, so on and so forth. And I also ordered a book, which is like it basically covers the whole spectrum of CLEP testing, and it's an additional study guide, and that was actually listed as saying that it has, sample questions, not questions that I'll probably see on the exam itself, but something to give me an idea of what to expect. That was $25. Thankfully, I only have to buy one of those. And then from there, it's just a matter of studying for these tests and preparing for them. And then after that, then I just simply need to purchase these. They're like registration tickets, I think. I don't know if they're like just blank tickets, and then I say, okay, I have ticket number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to apply that towards a biology exam. Please take this as a voucher, or something along those lines. But when I feel I'm ready to take the test, then I will register, and I believe at that point, then I will set a date to actually go to the testing center and take these tests. I haven't decided how exactly I'm going to do that, because I hear that I probably will need to at least set a few hours aside for these tests. So chances are it's not going to be something I can do over the weekend, because that's convenient, and everything that has to do with school is never convenient for me, which I'm sure a lot of you working students out there can relate to. So more than likely, if I still want to do it while I'm in the midst of my classes and whatnot, I'll have to set it on a Tuesday or a Friday, because those are the only mornings I have open. Either that, or I'll have to set it after the semester is complete, when then I'll have any morning during the week to do that. And I may actually go that route, just so I can make sure that the majority of my focus is still on the classes that I'm in right now. Because as far as the CLEP, it's as simple as just taking the test. As far as what a student does to prepare for it is totally up to them. So like my strategy is, I looked up the textbooks, because these are both classes that I could take at MATC. So I just looked up the materials required for those classes, and got a title of the textbooks that are used and whatnot, and then went and looked up older versions of the textbook, because let's be honest, these textbooks are essentially the same material that's covered. They just maybe rearrange it a little differently, just so they can slap a brand new price tag on it and make us even more broke than we already are. So like the textbooks for both these subjects, I think ran me under $20, and that includes shipping and everything. So it's just a matter of waiting for these books to arrive in the mail. They should arrive sometime within the next few days. And then it's just, after that, I don't know necessarily how I'm going to go about studying, because, the test is going to cover a class is worth of material. So essentially I'd have to figure out a way to consume most of the information in both these textbooks in order to do well on the exam. So the minimum score in order for a passing grade, or at least to earn the credit, is a score of 50. And as I've mentioned before, I don't necessarily know what exactly goes into that 50. There's a lot of factors and elements as far as like certain questions, attributing to more points than others, things like that. So I would assume a 50 is probably something in the realm of needing to get, I'd say, probably 60 to 70% of the questions right. It could be as simple as 50%, because that we are talking about just covering the course of a material, and in all of my classes, a passing grade is a C. So it's just flat out credit. So I'm not earning a grade for these credits either. It's just going to simply say something equivalent to like when it shows up as like transfer credits on my transcript or whatever. So maybe I don't necessarily need to study that hard, but I have to somehow figure out a way to cover a lot of the material in these textbooks. So that's, the plan. And then, like I said, I'm going to take one class through UWM over the summer, which is it's basically like the math portion, I guess, of my degree, if you want to put it that way. It's statistical research methods in sociology. So they said that would be basically the only other math that I would necessarily have to take in order to fulfill requirements. So I figure I'll just get that out of the way. Unfortunately, that means I was looking at the description of the course, and there's like an additional $300 that gets added on top of tuition. I don't necessarily know why, but that's what's going to be the case. More importantly, this is a class that's offered online, which is one of the other reasons that I'm going to take it. Granted, I mean, all the courses, at least in the sociology degree, are supposed to be available online, so I'm basically just trying to get something out of the way that I figure will probably be the most, I don't know, annoying, I suppose. But even though I'm graduating at the end of this semester from MATC, I'm still going to be taking classes there because there's still quite a few classes I can take at MATC that will be transferable to UWM. So over the last few days, I went through like our course catalog at MATC, and I was given a list several weeks ago by the counselor I've been working with. As far as it lists MATC classes, UWM classes, and like what their equivalencies are. So it also lists the subjects that are covered. So, for example, I had a requirement of 9 credits in humanities, 9 credits in like this international type of subject. So there are 3 classes in this list of MATC UWM equivalents that cover both of those. So if I take these 3 classes, that'll actually knock out 18 credits. It won't give me 18 credits, it'll still only give me 9 credits, but in the requirements, it'll cover both the humanities and the international without having to take 9 classes or 6 classes total to fulfill the 9 credits for international and the 9 credits for humanities. I can compact that into 3 classes. So the plan is going to be that I'll take the one class, the statistical research class, and then probably take at least 2 more, and it'll probably be 2 of those 3 that I mentioned. And it'll be a quick summer term. I just have to be accepting of the fact that it's quite possible that I may not be able to earn A's in that, just because this summer term gets really rushed. So, the quality of my work may reflect that. But I just have to be accepting of the fact that, yeah, I might get a B, and it's not going to be the end of the world. I'll still have a good GPA, and so on and so forth, and all that. So that's pretty much it. I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. So that'll probably do in lieu of an episode, and I'll probably be back in a few weeks to do a proper episode and kind of update further as to what's going on, which is good because then I'll have more things ironed out by then, hopefully. Like, the plan is having this stuff taken care of really soon. So anyway, I'm gonna call it good there. So I'll be back, as I said, in a couple weeks with hopefully a proper episode. But until then, my name's Nico. I'll catch you guys next time. Minasan Gambate.